Superstition, an irrational belief that something that you did must have been the reason why a future event ended up playing out the way it did. For example, if you were to start experiencing bad luck out of nowhere, it must be because you happened to walk under a ladder the other day. And for these NBA players, they believe that if they don't do a specific thing before or even during a game, they won't really perform all that well, becoming a ritual that they can't deviate from. So if they think it makes a difference, then who are we to stop them? Tim Duncan wasn't necessarily trying to come up with his own superstition, it just kinda happened by accident. Quote, "In college, I came out of the locker room one practice and later realized that my shorts were on backwards, so I didn't bother to correct them. I had a great practice, and ever since it has been a tradition for me." Obviously, NBA rules wouldn't allow him to wear his Spurs shorts backwards during actual games, but Greg Popovich didn't see a problem with him choosing to do it during practice.
The first practice is his gym shorts are backwards. What's the deal? He goes, "This is what I do. This is how I roll." I looked at the coaches. They looked at me. RC, we talked. He said, "I don't think we care how he wears his trunks."
Michael Jordan, on the other hand, was able to wear his shorts the way he wanted during actual games. Shorts as in plural. He tended to wear his North Carolina practice shorts under his Bull shorts in every game because he believed they were lucky. And you know what? He may have been right about them being lucky if 6 NBA championships are any indication.
Whatever you do, don't forget my North Carolina shorts.
Your shorts? From college?
I wore them under my Chicago Bulls uniform every game. Hey, I washed them after every game. Sure, I did.
Jordan asked to have his Bull shorts made longer in order to conceal his UNC shorts underneath, leading to players wanting to wear baggier shorts as a result, such as the Fab Five. There was yet another player who had a superstition when it came to shorts, except they weren't exactly his shorts to begin with. You see, the night before each game, Jason Terry would wear the opposing team's uniform shorts to bed of the team he was about to play next.
Gotta eat some form of chicken before every game, and the night before each game, I sleep in the opposing team's game shorts.
And they couldn't just be the same shorts that anyone can buy. They had to be authentic game-worn shorts. He supposedly had connections all over the league, from players to equipment managers who would help him out. Terry developed this superstition the night before he and the Arizona Wildcats won the 1997 national championship. "We were like, let's just get ready for this game. Let's get the uniform on. We're going to be ready," Terry said. "And we got to the game and ended up winning, so it's something I kept doing." Then, on the court, he couldn't play without his high socks.
Gotta have the high socks, got it from my father, seen a picture of him in a yearbook.
It's been said that sometimes he would wear up to 5 pairs of socks at the same time, pulled all the way up to his knees. While a bit odd, I don't think it's as strange as Harold Miner's free throw routine, which involved a whole bunch of things, but the weirdest thing he would do is touch the ball with his nose. And that's not all he would tap his nose against.
But I think the strangest superstitious ritual I ever seen was teammate Harold Miner. Everything he had to touch with his nose. Before he put his shoes on, he touched his nose. Before we get on the team bus, he touched the bus with his nose.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Come on, now. But he touched the bus with his
Everything
nose.
with his nose.
Jason Kidd and Steve Nash were 2 other players who had to risk being unsanitary in order to properly function. Nash would lick his fingers before shooting his free throws, triggering germaphobes all over the world, while Kidd would blow a kiss as a tribute to his family, sacrificing the cleanliness of his lips. Jeff Hornacek didn't go that far, but he still rubbed the side of his face a few times as a way to say hello to his children.
Jeff Hornacek, when he said hello to his kids, Hornacek, he would kind of scratch the side of his face, and I don't know if he blew a kiss or not, but I remember every time he got to the free throw line, he would rub the side of his face.
Now, Karan Butler's in-game ritual may not have been as dirty or gross, but it was still potentially dangerous. Believe it or not, he would chew plastic straws during games, reportedly at a rate of 12 per game, and said it calmed me down. Then it became one of those things you keep doing.
So let's talk about the straw fetish. Where did all this start?
Just something that I do, just calm my nerves before going into the game, and I'd rather chew on straws than gum. Before every game, I start at the nearest Burger King, McDonald's, grab straws, grab a handful of straws, and come to the game, start chewing, and start working out.
He began chewing straws in games as a teenager, but of course wasn't gonna get away with it forever. When he got to Dallas, this ritual had to come to an end. Players also believe that their actions just before tip-off is just as important. You won't believe what Reggie Miller used to do right before tip to get himself ready for the game. As you can see, he had a long list of superstitions and rituals to go through before he was ready to play, but this one in particular stood out from the rest. He would purposely get into a shouting match with their PR director David Benner because it would get him fired up.
I had a few bad games, and obviously him being his PR self came up to me and said, I guess you only play good when people talk bad about you. I was like, you know what, you're right, we're gonna start this. So I started to get in his face, and the camera started watching us doing that, and we just started adding to it, because then I would start cussing him out. You got bad breath, your dentures are showing, why don't you get a haircut? That's why your wife left you. And we just started doing all this, and I would flick his nose and all like that, and it became a ritual.
It's pretty customary for players to rub powder on their hands before the game to enhance their grip, but LeBron makes a show out of it, tossing it in the air. While this ritual is often associated with LeBron James, Kevin Garnett credits Michael Jordan for doing it first. Jordan did it a little differently, however. He would clap his hands together and end up getting the powder all over the commentators, so eventually they started to come prepared, even willing to go against a certain superstition just to cover up. Vince Carter made a habit of grabbing the net so he can then pull himself up in order to kiss the rim, a kiss that was always dedicated to his late grandmother. This actually inspired Dwayne Wade's pregame ritual, except he would grab the rim so he can perform 3 pull-ups, choosing to do only 3 to match his jersey number. Kevin Garnett would head over to the basket where the padding is under the hoop, where he would then tuck his jersey into his shorts before pounding his head a couple times, while we would see Tim Duncan begin every game with his arms wrapped tightly around the ball. But again, that's just right before tip-off. What about what players do before they even hit the court? Karan Butler had a pregame routine of drinking Mountain Dew before he hit the court, and admitted that he was addicted to it. Butler said that he used to drink the caffeinated soda before Wizards practice, and would knock back 2 before games. He realized that he had a serious problem, so he decided to quit drinking Mountain Dew, but of course it wasn't easy. I was going through withdrawals, Butler said on NBA.com. Honestly, those first 2 weeks without the Dew were the roughest 2 weeks of my life. I'm talking headaches, sweats, and everything. While Karan Butler chose to fuel his body in an unhealthy way, Kevin Garnett believed he found the perfect thing to consume before a game, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. The story goes that during the 07-08 season, an unknown Celtic randomly said that he was craving a PB&J to the Celtics strength and conditioning coach. Garnett overheard this and said, yeah, let's get on that. Garnett went on to play a stellar game that night, and for some reason thought it had something to do with the PB&J he ate before the game. So afterwards he says, we're going to need PB&Js in here every game now. While KG believed that a certain sandwich gave him special powers, all Kobe needed was to listen to the Halloween theme song.
I used to play the Halloween theme song over and over and over in my headphones. Pre-game. Seriously. Seriously. And it was important that it was Michael Myers because the mask itself was void of emotion. Void of emotion. It has nothing to do with pressure, has nothing to do with hype, has nothing to do with camaraderie. It's stone cold killer. And I would listen to that song over and over and over. Wow. To get, that's when you know you better run.
Monte Ellis used to literally warm up before a game, thanks to an unusual pregame ritual, submerging his hands into heated wax.
If you try it, it ain't gonna work for you. It's my magic. Only for me to do. Really warm my hands up. A few years ago, I had a torn ligament in my left ring finger. I mean, ever since, I just been doing it and it just became a habit. Waxy hands.
If Rajon Rondo had wax all over his hands, he would have no problem washing it off.
Rajon Rondo is squeaky clean. On game day, he takes not 1, but 5 showers before he plays. What? 5 showers before he plays.